Is this the moment that finally breaks Aaron Boone's unshakable confidence? Or are we witnessing the beginning of the end for one of baseball's most scrutinized managers? We've just witnessed the most humbling stretch of Yankees baseball in recent memory, a freefall that has sent our Bronx Bombers tumbling to third place in the AL East, and for the first time this season, the man at the helm is cracking under the pressure. The most revealing press conference moment since Boone took over the pinstripes has just dropped, and the advanced analytics of leadership psychology suggest we might be seeing a complete transformation in Yankees management philosophy. I'm about to reveal the shocking breakdown of what this accountability moment really means for our championship hopes and why most Yankees analysts are completely missing the bigger picture about this potential turning point. What's up, Yankees Universe? Pinstripe power coming in hot with another deep dive for all you baseball junkies out there. Hope you're all crushing it today, rocking that navy and white and ready to get your Yankees analysis fix. How exactly does Aaron Boone's sudden shift from eternal optimist to accountability advocate fit into the championship blueprint that this organization desperately needs right now? Drop your predictions down in the comments right now, because I've been studying the leadership patterns and connecting dots that nobody is talking about yet. Seriously, stick around until the end, because I'm about to break down a managerial evolution that will absolutely blow your mind about how this moment could transform our October destiny. The words that Yankees Universe has been waiting to hear finally came out of Aaron Boone's mouth, and honestly, it caught everyone off guard. The reality is, I think we should be better than what our record is, and that starts with me. We got to own that. Those aren't the words of the eternally optimistic manager we've grown accustomed to hearing. This is a completely different Aaron Boone speaking to the media. But here's what's really fascinating about this moment. It comes at a time when the Yankees are heading into their third game of what could be a series loss to the Miami Marlins. Let that sink in for a second. The Miami Marlins, a team that on paper shouldn't even be competitive with our loaded roster, and yet here we are, watching our championship aspirations crumble in real time. What do you think finally broke through Boone's usual everything's fine facade? Was it the mounting pressure from Yankees Universe, or is there something deeper happening behind the scenes? The timing of this accountability moment is absolutely crucial. We're not talking about a rough patch in April or May. This is happening right now, when every game matters, when the division race is slipping away, and when all those trade deadline acquisitions are starting to look like expensive band-aids on fundamental problems. Think about it. Brian Cashman went all in at the deadline, bringing in talent that should have solidified our championship run. But instead of seeing that championship form emerge, we've watched this team slide further down the AL East standings. Third place. Third place? When was the last time you could say that about a Yankees team with this much talent? And if you're enjoying this breakdown of what's really happening in the Bronx, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because we're diving deep into Yankees analysis that you won't find anywhere else. Now let's talk about what Boone is actually taking accountability for, because this isn't just about wins and losses. Throughout this season, we've seen some questionable decisions that have left Yankees fans scratching their heads. The lineup choices that make absolutely no sense. The bullpen management that seems to defy basic baseball logic. The way certain players get protected from criticism while others get thrown under the bus. Remember that heated altercation with the first base coach after Jazz Chisholm's base-running disaster? That was peak Boone frustration boiling over. And what made it even worse was Chisholm's response afterward, basically saying he wouldn't change anything about that play. Can you imagine a veteran player making a fundamental mistake and then doubling down on it? Here's where it gets really interesting, though. Boone kept Chisholm in the game after that blunder. That decision right there perfectly encapsulates everything that's been driving Yankees fans crazy about his management style. What's your take on Boone's approach to player accountability? Do you think he's been too soft on players who aren't performing, or is there a method to his madness that we're not seeing? But let's dig deeper into this pattern we've been seeing all season. Boone has consistently made excuses for defensive miscues, particularly when it comes to Anthony Volpe's struggles at shortstop. 16 errors leading the league isn't just bad luck. That's a fundamental problem that needs to be addressed. Yet instead of demanding better, we've heard excuse after excuse. The gentleness that fans have been criticizing isn't just about being nice to players. It's about setting standards and expectations. When you're managing a team with championship aspirations, every player needs to understand that performance matters, accountability matters. And for too long, it seemed like that message wasn't getting through. This is exactly the kind of in-depth analysis that separates pinstripe power from the rest. So if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button and join the thousands of Yankees fans who rely on us for the real truth about what's happening in the Bronx. What's really telling about Boone's recent comments is the shift in his usual messaging. Gone are the days of "a winning streak is right around the corner" and "we're the best team in the league." Those statements that used to define his press conferences have been replaced by something we rarely hear from him: genuine accountability. But here's the million-dollar question that every Yankees fan is asking right now. Is this accountability moment going to lead to actual changes, or is it just damage control for public relations? Because let's be honest, we've seen managers say the right things before without following through with meaningful action. The reality is that this Yankees roster is absolutely stacked with talent. On paper, this should be one of the most dominant teams in baseball. The fact that they're struggling against teams like the Marlins isn't about talent deficiency. It's about execution, preparation, and yes, management. Think about all those trade deadline moves. Every acquisition was supposed to put this team over the top. Instead, we're watching a team that looks disconnected, unfocused, and frankly, unprepared for the moments that matter most. What changes do you think Boone needs to make immediately to turn this season around? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I want to hear from real Yankees fans who've been watching this unfold. The psychological aspect of what we're witnessing can't be ignored either. When a manager who's known for unwavering optimism suddenly starts taking accountability, it sends a message to the entire clubhouse. Players notice when their manager's tone changes. They feel the pressure differently when leadership acknowledges that standards haven't been met. But will this translate to different decisions moving forward? Will we see tougher lineups, more accountability for defensive mistakes, strategic changes that actually make sense? Or is this just Aaron Boone trying to take the heat off his players while the real problems persist? The truth is, Yankees Universe deserves better than what we've been seeing. This organization has a standard of excellence that goes back decades. Championship expectations aren't unreasonable. They're part of what makes this franchise special. And right now, that standard isn't being met at any level. So there you have it. Yankees Universe, Aaron Boone's accountability moment might be the catalyst this team desperately needs, or it could be too little, too late. The next few weeks will tell us everything we need to know about whether this franchise is serious about championship baseball, or if we're in for another disappointing October. What's your prediction for how this plays out? Are you buying into Boone's accountability, or do you think it's time for bigger changes in the organization? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that like button if this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really happening in the Bronx. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on, because we'll be tracking every move, every decision, and every outcome as this Yankees season reaches its critical point. Until next time, this is Pinstripe Power, and remember, in Yankees Universe, championship expectations never go out of style.